Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a discussion over Undergrove, the newest game by Elizabeth Hargrave, of course, of renowned Wingspan fame. And, of course, this was a game that I had backed because of pretty much name alone, and also the nature theme, because I just really, love that genre. So, the game that's about mushrooms, or fungi in general, and to me, this is about as exciting of a game about fungi as it could be. This one just, I don't know, it doesn't really do much for me overall. I think the systems are fine, they're solid, the gameplay itself is solid. It gives me that general Cascadia vibe, where you are kind of manipulating a board, building out your own board, sending seedlings and roots to gain access to various fungal abilities, and trying to fulfill goal objectives, which is kind of like what Cascadia does with the overall goals that are out there to do. And it's there. It's a game. I don't know. This one, it feels like there's Elizabeth's design of Wingspan, which is just insanely popular and has proceeded to just sell unit after unit after unit. But then everything else that's been done afterwards has either been good to okay. There's Mariposas with the migration of the butterfly. There's Fox Experiment, and then now there's this one. And I feel like every time that I've played one of the other games, I liked Mariposas for what it was. Fox Experiment was okay, and then now there's kind of this one, which is not necessarily bad. I like the idea of you have these tiles, and the tiles for the deluxe components, these wooden tiles are very, very nice. But you're placing them out in this grid to then put your seedlings adjacent to a bunch of other tiles, and then eventually you can place your roots, utilizing resources of potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, as well as carbon, to put out more fungal tokens. And then you have this root network, which you use to absorb carbon. And to activate the ability of most of these fungal tiles, you put carbon onto them, which you then absorb through your seedlings and eventually grow trees. And every time you absorb carbon, which is kind of the point of the game, you go up on a track, and once that's kind of the timer of the game. Because you need to absorb carbon to be able to score the tiles adjacent to where you have roots. And it's not a bad system. The fact that you have access to various powers based off where your seeds are and where your roots are pointing, and you could spend resources to pull carbon from other tiles into your seed to grow a tree, and you're limited on trees. But if your tree is there, then you have roots to all adjacent ones, and that'll score you points. The goals that are there give you kind of a drive to get a bunch of points at the end. The bat, for example, is you move up on the goal track each time you make 6 carbon in one turn. Okay, well that's pretty neat. I don't mind these goals. They're double-sided for various abilities, and I also really like the fact that there's a goal tracker. That's really cool for just ease of scoring. The race of who can absorb the most carbon and you get a benefit each time you move up is really nice. It's again not a bad game. I don't know, for some reason it just didn't really work for me. You have pretty much access to any tile that you could theoretically want, and then you have access to placing roots in anywhere that you want. So I never found it super compelling to try and create a network of fungi. One of my tiles was the yellow tipped coral, and that got 2 points plus a point for every adjacent yellow type mushroom. okay, well, I happen to draw a bunch of those, so that will net me a bunch of points. And oh, look over there, that location has 4 points of a fungal, so I'll use my reproduce to place down, and then put a root pointing at that one. And because it's super easy to really absorb carbon, you're almost guaranteed to kind of score it, even though you are limited on your trees. So it seemed like there wasn't really ever hard decisions to make, and because every action is pretty much easy to do. Yeah, you can be strapped for resources, but because there's like the central forest board, you're able to always kind of get the resources you need in general anyway. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'm typed for resources. Oh, I'll just do this one action and get those resources that I need to then place any tile that I want and just kind of start absorbing carbon. And some people might like that. They might like the casual nature. It is neat for nature games, and they do in this one. What I love nature games to be about is, they have it's called an art guide, but they have basically a fact book on every type of mushroom in the game, as well as about all of the animals for the scoring, which, as nature games tend to be, they're very depressing because it tells us how many of them aren't left alive, and that's always fun to realize. But yeah, there's the general scoring is nice. The components are great. It looks great on the board. The artwork's fantastic. I'm kind of torn. I kind of wish that that the art was actual photos, because that's always nice when it's set in our world and these are real things. That it's like, oh hey, there's a real photo of the dead man's foot. That's pretty cool. But for what it is, the art is very nice. I think it's by Beth no, who did the art? Yeah, art by Beth Sobel. So I mean, that's not really that big of a deal. And yeah, that's I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. It's not a horrible system. Like, you also have these 4 action tokens that pretty much, to activate a type of mushroom, which there are 4 types, you have to have this available to you. So even though you can get a mushroom that is a really good ability, unless you have a way to reactivate it, which the 4 starting zones allow you to do, flip over your red action to unflip your yellow if you want to reuse a yellow ability that you have access to. It's it is kind of a nice dynamic of not being able to just spam the same action over and over and over again. And then eventually you have to photosynthesize, which will get you your carbon. It's nice that you can't get locked out of actions. If you misplay or strip yourselves of resources, it's not like you're out of the game and you have to build back up to just try and start playing again. If you run out of resources, you have the availability to be able to get more. And hell, some of the tiles, the fungi that get you a bunch of resources, also give other people resources. So that it doesn't seem like it's meant to be a cutthroat game. Just for some reason, for me, there wasn't ever really a whole lot of like forward planning. It's all right, this is what the mushrooms that I want to put down. Now I can absorb from that. Some of the tiles are really good, and the goals are relatively easy to accomplish, and they can net you a whole bunch of points. So it could be a feel-good kind of game, and I don't know many games about fungi, so it is a unique theme in that sense. So I don't know. It's a weird kind of review because I don't really despise anything about the game, nor do I really think it's generic. I'm not sitting here going, well, I've seen this in a million different games. I really haven't. But yeah, it wasn't. This could be a mood game, just kind of maybe a puzzle-esque kind of game that fits those other genres of the nature theme. I would probably rank this, funny enough, as her second best. Like, I might... Well, Mariposas did have that puzzle of trying to go out as far as you can and then breed higher level, mushrooms, butterflies, and then come try and make it back. And I do like this more than Fox Experiment. So I might actually put this one above Mariposa's. I don't know yet. I'd have to replay Mariposas to even find out if that game still stands the test of time. I mean, obviously, it's not going above Wingspan. Wingspan's just too good of a game. It's also the one that's been supported the most. But, yeah, this one is an interesting feel, I guess. So, I don't really have much to say about it. Like, the component quality is fantastic. They tried to go very green with it. Which for games that... The one thing about going green with board games, which, if you're going to go green, I'm hoping these wooden pieces are made out of, like, recyclable or something, whatever it's made out of, because it'd be funny. It's like, we're going green, no plastic, and then they're cutting down trees to make these deluxe components. The one thing, I'm fine with, cards coming wrapped in recyclable paper. I'm fine with no plastic on whatever. The one thing I hate, which luckily AEG somehow did correct, is the game didn't come wrapped in plastic, which makes sense. But it came with tape on the edges. Now I've had it to where that tape either leaves residue or it tears the box. Luckily, this game didn't do that, which is nice. But yeah, that always makes me nervous. It's like, oh, okay, I get it, we're going green, but at the same time, I paid money for it, and I don't want my shit to be destroyed. With the way that they went about it, it is actually done very well. Like the organization with these types of boxes for everyone's player pieces is done in a really the box can be reorganized, which is very nice. And this is a really awesome first player marker with the little mushroom. So, yeah, it's good, but I don't love it. Like, I'm not like, wow, this is Elizabeth Hargrave just is knocking it out of the park with this one. And maybe to some people they are, but I don't know. Maybe it's a theme overall. I think it's just, I realize the fungus and fungi just don't tickle me like birds do or something. It's good. If you're looking for a game in this genre, for a spatial area control kind of puzzle, resource management goal game, this is a good one to grab. Now, where does that leave me on a scale of 1 to 10? I think, even though I'm just kind of like meh about it, I think I'm still going to give it a 7. Because I don't really have like many complaints, if really any. So I do think this is a good game. But I can't really put it above a 7 for any discernible reason. So that's it, everyone. That's my thoughts on Undergrove. Let me know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.